Hey Colin, thanks so much for being here today.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. So Portland native, Grand Slam Explorer world record holder, the holder of the 100-yard breaststroke title at the Matt Dishman Community Center for 20-ish years. We're so glad that you're from Portland. I'm still in awe of your accomplishment, crossing Antarctica unaided, unsupported, over 900 miles. It took you the better part of 2 months to do it, and you're actually the first person in world history to be able to do that and live to tell the tale. So, congratulations and thanks for sitting down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been quite an adventure, but it's nice to be back home in the Pacific Northwest, the community that raised me here in Portland, with a roof over my head.
What would you have done if you'd gotten 5 days into it and you realized you really can't do it? You don't have the energy, or you don't have the food supplies, or you realized that the environment was different than you expected. Yeah. Did you ever contemplate failure and what that might look like?
So I think that the mindset really piece of it is the piece that I'm probably the most interested in the entire challenge, which is, for me and my process and my preparation starts with visualization. It's been said too many times, but shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. Is that kind of idea, finding what the limits of my own potential were, and hopefully it was going to be this successful outcome that I visualized many times.
A lot of people hearing about your feats would say, this guy's crazy, right? I mean, they would, right? We all know that. Or they would say there's something about this guy that he's willing to take just incredible personal risks to be able to do the things that he does. Are you a significant risk taker?
I don't actually think of myself as a big risk taker. I don't think of I like to ride a roller coaster from now and again, but I'm not a big thrill seeker. I'm not a big adrenaline junkie in any way. It's actually quite the opposite of that, which is from the outset, it looks like I'm just taking these massive risks. But the way that I approach this is actually really about preparedness, about understanding my abilities currently, understanding what I can dream about a couple years in advance. I took this project on 2.5 years ago, and I really started dreaming about it in earnest and then preparing for it. What do I have in my bag of tricks as an athlete, as a mountaineer, that I already can accomplish this? What am I missing? What do I need to learn? I think I have lots of limits, but I do think that one of the gifts that I've learned along the way, people have supported me, is the persevering through those challenging times, because knowing when you keep pushing forward through that, there is potentially something amazing on the other end.
So let me ask you this. You're athletic and you're gifted and you're doing these amazing feats, but that's not really why you did it. There was a bigger message you were trying to
For sure. For me, the last reason I'm doing this is to be the athlete in the arena that all these people are watching and applauding, like, oh, good job, you set a world record. For me, my lifelong passion has been sports, endurance sports, and that's kind of how I've shown up in the world. And so I've begun, as I've gotten older and sort of thinking through this process, I've begun to think of myself less as an athlete, actually, and more of as an artist. And my canvas just happens to be endurance sports. And this is performance art in a way. So I can put something out in the world that I've told in a way, to use social media, to use content, storytelling, writing a book, etc., as a way to put inspiration out in the world and have this ripple effect of positivity around universal themes that we all go through: struggle, hardship, overcoming obstacles, perseverance, managing risk, etc. And so no matter if your passion is music, art, literature, entrepreneurship, business, family, etc., that there are lessons that can be learned and exemplified, and this is just my expression of doing that out in the world that can be shared.
Now you've accomplished this previously thought to be impossible first. You are the first person to be able to successfully do it. Do you have limits?
I get that question from time to time. Is this a superhuman feat? Is this, these types of things? And I really, at least for me, I feel like just like anybody else. I feel like a regular guy. I have trained and prepared specifically for endurance sports throughout my life. I started as a swimmer here in Portland, Oregon, swam at college at Yale, eventually, got to become a professional triathlete. And the way I even got there was by being severely burned in a fire and overcoming this obstacle of that with sort of a positive mindset to realize I can overcome this and not only complete a triathlon, but win my first triathlon. And kind of somewhere in that moment, for me, what I realized was not just with my own self, but I have a belief that humans in general, all of us, have these reservoirs of untapped potential inside of our bodies and can achieve extraordinary things when we set our minds to them. but it's so often that we don't.